The first thing I noticed when I woke up was the beeping. Steady, mechanical, like a metronome counting out the seconds of my life. The second thing was my sister Kinley's voice, hushed but clear, coming from somewhere near my feet. Severe brain damage. The doctors aren't sure she'll ever be the same. Such a tragedy. My name is Violet, and I was definitely not brain damaged. Groggy? Yes. In pain? Absolutely. But as I lay there in what I assumed was a hospital bed, my mind was sharp enough to know something was very wrong with what my sister was saying. I tried to open my eyes, but they felt welded shut. My throat was raw, probably from a breathing tube. When I finally managed to crack one eyelid, the fluorescent light stabbed into my skull like needles. "Oh my God, she's moving." A nurse's voice. "Should I increase her pain medication?" "Yes, please." Kinley's voice dripped with concern. The neurologist said any agitation could be dangerous in her condition. I wanted to scream that I was fine, that I didn't need more medication. But before I could force my mouth to work, warmth flooded my veins and the world went soft around the edges. The next time I surfaced, it was darker. Night, probably. Kinley was still there, but now she was talking on her phone. "Yes, I know it's a lot to handle, but someone has to step up. She's my sister." A pause. "The doctors say she might need round-the-clock care for months, maybe years. Of course I'll have to manage her finances." My stomach clenched. Through barely open eyes, I watched her pace at the foot of my bed. She was wearing one of my designer blazers, the new one I'd bought just last week. "I know, Blair. It's just so hard seeing her like this. My strong, successful big sister. Now she can barely—" Kinley's voice cracked perfectly. "I have to go. The nurse needs to check her vitals." I forced my eyes all the way open, fighting against whatever drugs they had me on. The room came into focus. Standard hospital setup. Monitors, IV stands. Through the window, I could see the glow of city lights. My body felt like it had been put through a meat grinder, and based on the casts and bandages I could see, that wasn't far from the truth. Kinley hadn't noticed I was awake. She'd settled into the visitor's chair, phone in hand. I watched as she pulled something from her purse. My wallet. My credit card glinted as she typed the numbers into her phone. "Just a few things to help me take care of you," she murmured, scrolling through what looked like a designer website. "You'd want me to look professional while handling your affairs, right?" Memory flickered. Headlights in my rearview mirror. Too close. Too fast. The horrible crunch of metal. Had it been an accident? I couldn't remember clearly, but watching my sister shop with my credit card while I lay here supposedly brain damaged sent ice through my veins. "Kinley?" I managed to croak. She jumped, nearly dropping the phone. "Violet! Oh my God!" She was at my side in an instant, all concerned eyes and gentle touches. "Don't try to talk, sweetie. You're not ready. My wallet." "Shh, don't worry about anything. I'm taking care of everything." She stroked my hair, but her eyes didn't quite meet mine. "The doctors say you need to rest. No stress. Just focus on getting better." I wanted to argue, to demand my wallet back, to ask why she was lying about my condition. But my tongue felt thick, and darkness was creeping in again. As I drifted off, I remembered something from our childhood. Kinley, 12 years old, telling our mother I'd pushed her down the stairs. I hadn't been anywhere near her that day, but she'd worn her arm sling like a badge of honor for weeks, soaking up sympathy, while I was grounded. Some things never change. Only now, the stakes were much higher than a fake broken arm. The last thing I saw before sleep took me was Kinley slipping my credit card back into my wallet, her face illuminated by her phone screen as she completed her purchase. She was smiling, just slightly, the way she used to smile when she'd gotten away with something. This time, though, I wasn't a helpless kid who couldn't prove her lies. This time, I was watching. And despite what my sister might think, my mind was working just fine. I just had to figure out how to prove it before she took everything I had. The next few days were a masterclass in acting. Every time a nurse or doctor came to check on me, I kept my responses slow, confused, childlike. It killed me to do it, but watching Kinley's satisfied little nods each time I struggled to remember something made it worth it. "It's okay, Vi," she'd coo, patting my hand. "We don't expect you to be yourself right away." I wanted to bite that patting hand, but instead, I just blinked vacantly and mumbled, "Thank you, sister." The neurologist, Dr. Hicks, came by for regular checks. There was something different about him. The way he watched me when Kinley wasn't looking, how his questions seemed designed to test more than just my basic functions. One afternoon, while Kinley was out handling my affairs, he closed the door and spoke in a low voice. "Ms. Webb, I'm going to be direct. You're far more cognizant than you're letting on, aren't you?" I hesitated, studying his face. He waited patiently, holding my gaze. "How did you know?" I finally whispered. 20 years of experience, and the fact that you complete the cognitive tests perfectly when your sister isn't here, but conveniently struggle when she is." He pulled up a chair. "Want to tell me what's going on?" I told him everything. The credit card theft, the lies about my condition, the overheard phone calls about managing my finances. His face grew darker with each detail. "This is serious," he said. "She's setting up for a conservatorship play. I've seen it before." "A what?" "Legal control of your affairs. If she can convince the courts you're mentally incompetent." He let the implications hang. "I need to expose her," I said. "But if I just suddenly get better, she'll know I've been faking. She'll hide the evidence." Dr. Hicks nodded slowly. "What if we documented a very gradual recovery? Give you time to gather proof while she thinks she's still in control." Before I could respond, the door opened. Kinley breezed in with our mother, Rosalind, in tow. "Look who's here, Vi!" Kinley sang out. I immediately went slack-faced, letting my eyes unfocus slightly. "Oh, honey!" Mom rushed to my bedside. "Kinley told me how bad it was, but seeing you like this..." "She's making progress," Dr. Hicks cut in smoothly. "But it's crucial we don't rush her recovery." "Of course not," Kinley agreed. "That's why I've started the paperwork for extended medical leave from her job. And I've contacted a lawyer about temporary power of attorney." I saw Dr. Hicks's jaw tighten slightly. "That seems premature. Let's see how she progresses." "Better safe than sorry," Kinley chirped. "I just want what's best for my sister." After they left, a nurse came in to change my IV. As she worked, she slipped something under my pillow, a folded piece of paper. I waited until I was alone to read it. "Your sister thinks you'll never wake up. Prove her wrong." The handwriting was unfamiliar, but it sent a chill down my spine. Someone else had noticed. Someone else knew. That evening, Kinley brought dinner. For herself, not me. I was still on a restricted diet. She ate my favorite sushi while scrolling through her phone. "Good news, Vi! I found a great long-term care facility, very exclusive. They can take you as soon as you're stable." I forced myself to smile vaguely. Inside, I was screaming. "And don't worry about the cost. I've arranged to liquidate some of your investments. It's what you would want." A knock at the door made her jump. Dr. Hicks entered with his tablet. "Evening check," he announced. "Mind giving us a few minutes?" "Oh, I should stay," Kinley said, "in case you need any information about her condition." "Actually," Dr. Hicks replied firmly, "I need to do some cognitive tests that work better without family present. Hospital policy." Kinley's smile flickered but held. "Of course, I'll go make some calls about the care facility." As soon as she was gone, Dr. Hicks showed me his tablet. I've documented your true cognitive state, and I've got a friend in the DA's office who specializes in elder abuse and fraud. Similar principles apply here. Thank you, I whispered, but we need more proof. We'll get it. For now, keep playing your part. Let her think she's winning. He paused at the door. Oh, and Ms. Webb? That care facility she mentioned? I wouldn't drink anything she gives you between now and then. After he left, I lay in the darkness, listening to the familiar beeping of monitors. Somewhere in this hospital, my sister was making plans for my future. A future where I'd be locked away, while she lived off my life's work. Not if I could help it. The game was on, and I intended to win. Gordon's here to see you, Dr. Hicks announced 3 days later. Your ex? He's a lawyer, right? I nodded slightly, keeping my vacant expression in case Kinley was lurking nearby. She'd developed a habit of popping in unannounced. Gordon looked exactly as I remembered. Tall, sharp-suited, with kind eyes that always gave away what he was thinking. Right now, they were full of horror as he took in my supposedly diminished state. Jesus, Vi, he whispered. Dr. Hicks closed the door. She's fine. Show him, he told me. I sat up straighter, my face transforming into its normal expressions. Hi, Gordon. Sorry for the theatrics, but I need your help. His jaw dropped. What the hell is going on? I explained everything while he paced the room, his lawyer brain visibly connecting dots. When I finished, he ran a hand through his hair. This is serious, Vi. I just checked your accounts. She's already transferred over $50,000 to a new trust. She what? My heart rate monitor betrayed my spike of anger. Keep calm, Dr. Hicks warned. We need to be smart about this. Gordon pulled out his phone. I can help. We'll need to document everything, set up some traps. But Vi... He hesitated. Your sister's been reaching out to me, asking me to coffee, seeking legal advice about your situation. Of course she has, I muttered. Use it. Get close. See what she reveals. A knock at the door sent me back into my vacant pose. Kinley entered, freezing when she saw Gordon. Oh, I didn't know you were here. She touched her hair self-consciously. I've been meaning to call you about those papers. Just checking on Vi, Gordon said smoothly. Maybe we could discuss everything over coffee later. Kinley's face lit up. That would be perfect. I have so many questions about managing Violet's estate. My estate? I mumbled, playing confused. Don't worry about it, sweetie, Kinley soothed. Gordon and I will handle everything. After they left, Dr. Hicks helped me set up a laptop hidden in my bedside drawer. Your mother's coming by later, he warned. Remember, slow responses, simple words. Mom arrived with flowers and tears. Oh, my poor baby. At least you're getting better at speaking. Yes. Better, I said woodenly, hating myself for making her worry. But I couldn't trust her not to tell Kinley. Kinley's been amazing, Mum gushed. Taking time off work, organizing your care, even planning a fundraiser. A what? The words slipped out too sharply. I covered by coughing. To help with your medical expenses. She's working with that lovely Blair person. You know, the social media girl. They're calling it Violet's Hope Gala. Isn't that sweet? My stomach churned. Blair Townsend was Kinley's wannabe influencer friend, always chasing clout. This wasn't going to end well. Later that night, Gordon texted, Had coffee with Kay. She's planning something big, sending you audio from my phone recording. I plugged in my earbuds and listened. Kinley's voice oozed through the speakers. The fundraiser will be amazing. We're expecting to raise at least $100K. Of course, that's just the start. Once I have conservatorship... Are you sure that's necessary? Gordon asked carefully. You've seen her. She can barely string sentences together. Someone needs to protect her assets. Speaking of which, I should be added to her house deed, don't you think? For practical reasons. I yanked the earbuds out, feeling sick. A new text from Gordon popped up. Detective Bell wants to meet tomorrow. She's interested in your case. The next morning, Dr. Hicks brought in a sharp-eyed woman in plain clothes. Coast is clear, he said. Kinley's at a nail appointment. Detective Bell got straight to the point. Financial fraud, medical manipulation, potential conservatorship fraud. This is serious, but we need hard evidence. I've got the transfers documented, Gordon said, and recordings. Good. Keep gathering. Let her dig herself deeper. She turned to me. When you're ready to end this, we'll do it right. Make it public. Make it stick. A text lit up my phone, from Blair to a group chat I wasn't supposed to have access to. Venue booked. This gala is going to be epic. Wait till everyone sees Kinley's speech about her tragic sister. Violet's hope Sanchez, blessed. They're planning a fundraiser, I told Detective Bell. Using my name, my story. Perfect, she said. What better place to expose a fraud than at her own show? I looked at the 3 people in my room, my doctor, my ex, and a detective, all willing to help me fight back. For the first time since waking up in this hospital bed, I felt something like hope. Let's take her down, I said. But first, let's let her think she's won. Oh my God. Blair's voice echoed through my hospital room as she filmed yet another Instagram story. You guys, the response to Ma Violet's hope has been incredible. Keep those donations coming. I lay still, pretending to sleep while Blair posed next to my bed. Kinley stood behind her, arranging my blankets to look more pathetic. Such a tragedy, Blair continued, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. But thanks to her amazing sister Kinley, there's hope. Don't forget to swipe up for gala tickets. After they finished filming, their true colors showed. This is gold, Blair gushed. My engagement is through the roof. We should do weekly updates on her condition. Perfect, Kinley agreed. I'm thinking of getting her a wheelchair for the gala. You know, really drive home the whole invalid thing. You're so smart! And that Saint Laurent dress you bought with the first donation batch. Stunning! I focused on keeping my breathing steady, fighting the urge to sit up and strangle them both with my IV tube. Later that afternoon, Gordon arrived with paperwork. Your sister's been busy, he muttered when we were alone. Just transferred another $200,000 to that trust account. Show me. He held up his tablet. There it was. My money, flowing into an account I couldn't access. My hands shook with rage. That's not all, he said. Look at this social media campaign they're running. The hashtag #ShushViolet'sHope was trending locally. Photos of Kinley looking somber in expensive new clothes, captioned with prayers and inspiration quotes. Blair's posts about supporting her bestie through this difficult time. A promotional video for the gala that made me want to vomit. Tickets are $500 each, Gordon said. They've sold over 300 so far. A knock interrupted us. Dr. Hicks entered with Detective Bell. We've got something, she said, pulling out her phone. Listen to this. It was a recording of Blair on a phone call. Yeah, Kinley's already put a deposit down on that house in River Heights. The fundraiser should cover the rest. I know, right? Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. Her sister's vegetable state is like the best thing that could have happened. Got that from her assistant, Detective Bell said. Apparently, Blair's not great at paying her employees. There's more, Dr. Hicks added. Kinley's filed the conservatorship paperwork. The hearing's set for next month. My heart raced. That's too soon. We need more time. Not necessarily, Detective Bell said. The gala's in 3 weeks. Perfect timing for a grand finale. A commotion in the hallway silenced us. Kinley burst in with Mom. Vi, look who's here to help plan your homecoming. I immediately went slack-jawed, drooling slightly for effect. The care facility is all arranged, Kinley announced. We just need to finalize the payments. Mom, could you sign these consent forms? As next of kin. Actually, Gordon interrupted, as Violet's lawyer, I should review those first. Kinley's smile tightened. Gordon, sweetie, we discussed this. It's a family matter. Everything okay in here? Dr. Hicks asked pointedly. Fine, Kinley said quickly. Just excited about the gala. You're all coming, right? It's going to be amazing. Open bar, silent auction, live music. Sounds expensive, Detective Bell commented. I'd forgotten she was still here. Oh, I don't think we've met. Kinley extended her hand. Just checking on a patient, Detective Bell said smoothly. Hospital security, you know. After they left, I grabbed Gordon's tablet again, scrolling through more social media posts. Blair was live streaming from a boutique. Shopping for New Violet's hope. Every designer wants to dress Kinley for her big night. My phone buzzed. A text from Detective Bell. Your sister just bought 50K in casino chips with your money, adding gambling fraud to the list. Another buzz. Dr. Hicks. Care facility called. She's arranged for heavy sedation upon your arrival. Don't worry, I've flagged it. Final buzz. Gordon. Just got the guest list for the gala. Half the city's elite will be there. Perfect audience for her downfall. I closed my eyes, remembering Kinley's words from childhood, whenever she'd framed me for something. Nobody will ever believe you over me. I'm better at this game. She was right back then, but this time I had evidence, witnesses, a plan. 3 weeks. I just had to keep playing dead for 3 more weeks. My phone lit up with another Instagram notification. Kinley posting a tearful selfie from my bedside while I slept. Caption. Taking care of my sister is my life's purpose now. Can't wait to share our journey at Thastya Violet's Hope Gala. Some angels don't have wings. They have wheelchairs. I smiled faintly. Let her post. Let her preen. Let her think she's won. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You're doing so well with your words today, Vi, Kinley exclaimed as we sat in the hospital cafeteria. My first supervised trip out of the room, a calculated risk I'd suggested to Dr. Hicks. Mum beamed from across the table. She really is improving. I stirred my soup slowly, deliberately spilling a little. Then, carefully, I dropped my bombshell. Remember, birthday cake? Last year? I mumbled, keeping my voice weak but clear. Kinley's spoon clattered against her plate. What? Red velvet. You wore blue dress. Mom clasped her hands. That's right. Violet, you remember. But I was watching Kinley's face. The flash of panic in her eyes was worth every second of playing stupid. Memory. Coming back. Little bits, I slurred, then knocked over my water for good measure. Don't push yourself, Kinley said quickly, mopping up the spill. Dr. Hicks said memories might be confused. But this one seems quite clear, Mum insisted. It was such a lovely party. Before Kinley could respond, her phone rang. Sorry, it's Blair. Gala stuff. She stepped away from the table. I slumped in my wheelchair, maintaining my act while straining to hear her conversation. No, we can't. Because she's starting to remember things. Yes, I know we already sold the tickets. Look, just handle it, okay? And make sure those Instagram posts go up today. We need more donations before... She glanced back at our table and lowered her voice. Mom touched my hand. I should tell you, honey, Kinley's been so wonderful with your things. She even found Grandma's sapphire necklace you thought you'd lost. My stomach dropped. That necklace had been in my safety deposit box. Found... where? I asked carefully. In her apartment. Can you believe it? She's wearing it to the gala. Just then, Dr. Hicks appeared. "Time for therapy," he announced. "Mrs. Webb, would you mind helping with some paperwork?" Once we were alone in my room, I dropped the act. "She broke into my safety deposit box." "We know," he said. "Detective Bell documented it. But there's something else. Your sister's friend Blair. She's getting nervous." He played a recording from earlier that day, Blair arguing with Kinley in the hospital parking lot. "This is getting out of hand. You said she'd be in a facility by now. What if she keeps remembering stuff?" "She won't," Kinley had snapped. "And if you breathe a word about the house or the offshore account, you'll regret it." "Is that a threat?" "Because I've got screenshots, honey, of everything." The recording ended with the sound of heels storming away. "Blair's assistant provided that too," Dr. Hicks said. "Apparently she's been collecting evidence as insurance." "Perfect," I smiled. "Let them turn on each other." That evening, Gordon brought more news. "Kinley's filing for emergency conservatorship. Says your sudden memories are actually signs of deterioration." "How long do we have?" "Hearings next week. But don't worry, I've got the judge's clerk on our side. They'll delay it until after the gala." A commotion outside made us freeze. Blair's voice carried through the door. "I don't care if she's sleeping! This can't wait!" She burst in, mascara streaked down her face, stopped short when she saw me sitting up, alert, with Gordon. "What?" "Close the door," I said clearly. She did, hands shaking. "You're not..." "But Kinley said..." "Kinley lies. You know that better than most, apparently." Blair sank into a chair. "She promised nobody would get hurt. Just a quick fundraiser, split the money, everyone wins. But now she's talking about permanent care facilities, and she's buying property in the Caymans, and I can't... "Sit," Gordon commanded. "Tell us everything." An hour later, Detective Bell had a sworn statement, and Blair had immunity in exchange for her cooperation. As she left, she paused. "The necklace," she said. "The one she's wearing to the gala. She took it the day of your accident. Said it was payment for services rendered. I didn't understand what she meant until..." "Until what?" "Until I saw the mechanic's receipt in her purse, for brake line work, on your car. The day before..." The room went silent except for the heart monitor's suddenly rapid beeping. "Get out," I whispered. After she fled, Gordon touched my shoulder. "Vi, my own sister tried to kill me. We'll add attempted murder to the charges." "No," I said, my voice hard. "The gala stays as planned. But now I want her to suffer." I picked up my phone, opened the Violet's Hope hashtag. Kinley's latest post showed her holding my necklace, captioned, "Wearing this family heirloom in honor of my brave sister. 2 weeks until the most important night of our lives." "You have no idea," I whispered, "how important it's going to be." The invitation arrived on heavy cream cardstock, gold letters gleaming. "Violet's Hope Gala, a night of healing and hope." Below that, in smaller text, "Honoring Kinley Webb for her extraordinary dedication to her sister's recovery." "Nice touch," Detective Bell said, examining the invitation. "Making herself the guest of honor at your own fundraiser. We were in my hospital room, now Command Central for Operation Takedown. Dr. Hicks had officially approved my discharge for the day of the gala, though Kinley didn't know that yet." "Everything's in place," Gordon reported. "The DA has the warrant ready. We just need her to incriminate herself at the gala." "Oh, she will," I said, "especially after I RSVP'd." "You what?" Dr. Hicks grabbed the invitation. There at the bottom, in shaky handwriting, meant to look like an invalid scrawl, "Yes, I'll be attending, in full capacity." "She's been calling every hour," I grinned, "but mysteriously, I'm always sleeping when she visits." My phone buzzed. Another frantic text from Blair. She's losing it. Keeps talking about moving up your transfer to the care facility. Says she can't risk you being at the gala. Good, Detective Bell nodded. Let her spiral. Makes her more likely to slip up. A knock at the door sent everyone scrambling. Gordon to the bathroom, Detective Bell behind a curtain, Dr. Hicks pretending to check my charts. Mum walked in with Kinley. Look who's here for lunch, Mum announced. I kept my eyes unfocused, mumbling a greeting. Vi, honey? Kinley's voice was tight. About the gala. I don't think you're strong enough to attend. Dr. Hicks, don't you agree? Actually, he said carefully, short supervised outings might be beneficial at this stage. But she can barely feed herself, Kinley protested. I chose that moment to speak. Want to see you shine, sister. Kinley's face did something complicated. That's sweet, Vi. But I really think... Let her come, Mom interrupted. It would mean so much to everyone. Fine, Kinley snapped, then quickly softened her tone. I mean, of course, if she feels up to it. After they left, Gordon emerged from the bathroom. That was close. Did you see her face? I asked. She's terrified I'll ruin her big moment. She should be, Detective Bell said, checking her phone. Just got confirmation. We have access to the venue's security system. Every room will be recorded. That evening, Blair went live on Instagram from the venue. Final preparations for Violet's Hope. Look at this amazing stage where Kinley will share her touching story. The camera panned across an elegant ballroom, lingering on a massive portrait of me in my hospital bed, looking helpless and frail. Below it, a donation table with a sign. Help support Violet's long-term care. Long-term care fund, my ass, Gordon muttered. More like Kinley's escape fund. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Found the brake shop mechanic. He's willing to testify. Detective Bell. Another notification popped up. Kinley posting a selfie in my sapphire necklace. Final fitting for the gala. Can't wait to honor my sister while wearing this precious family heirloom. Blessed Shucks Violet's Hope. Ready for your fitting? Dr. Hicks asked, wheeling in a garment bag. I unzipped it to reveal a sleek black dress. Professional. Powerful. Nothing like the invalid Kinley had been portraying. Perfect, I said. But we need one more thing. I pulled out my laptop, showing them an email from my private investigator. Remember how Kinley kept pushing Mom to sign those care facility papers? Look what they found. Gordon whistled low. A kickback arrangement? She was getting a percentage of your care costs? Add it to the evidence pile, Detective Bell said. The DA's going to have a field day. I stood up, no wheelchair, no weakness, and walked to the mirror. After weeks of playing helpless, it felt good to stand tall. You know she'll try something when she sees you're coming, Dr. Hicks warned. Let her try. We'll have uniformed officers at every exit. My phone buzzed one last time. Blair again. She's drinking champagne in your penthouse, wearing your clothes, planning your institutionalization. I'm so sorry I helped her. Make it hurt. I touched my reflection in the mirror, remembering Kinley's words about the accident. Payment for services rendered. 3 days, I said to my team. 3 days until the gala, until everyone sees who my sister really is. Nervous? Gordon asked. No. I smiled, cold and sharp as the sapphires Kinley had stolen. I'm ready. In the mirror, I saw not a victim, but an avenging angel. Karma was coming, and she was wearing heels. The gala was in full swing when we arrived. Through the venue's glass doors, I could see Kinley holding court in my grandmother's sapphires, champagne in hand, lapping up sympathy from the city's elite. Ready? Dr. Hicks asked quietly. I straightened my spine, checked my reflection one last time in the lobby mirror. Born ready. Detective Bell touched her earpiece. Officers in position. Remember, let her incriminate herself before we move in. Gordon squeezed my hand. Showtime. I walked through those doors on my own 2 feet, head high, Dr. Hicks and 2 plainclothes officers flanking me. The reaction rippled through the crowd like a wave. Gasps, whispers, the click of phone cameras. Kinley's champagne flute shattered on the marble floor. "Vi Violet," she stammered. "What are you? You shouldn't be—" "Hello, sister dear," my voice carried in the sudden silence. "Lovely party. In my honor, I hear." She recovered quickly, rushing forward with arms outstretched. "Everyone! Look! A miracle! My sister's having a good day." "I'm having an excellent day," I agreed, clear-headed enough to ask about the 200,000 you transferred from my accounts, or the brake lines you had tampered with before my accident. The color drained from her face. "You're confused, sweetie. The brain damage is non-existent." Dr. Hicks stepped forward. "As her physician, I can confirm Violet has been fully cognizant for weeks. We've documented everything." Kinley's eyes darted around the room, looking for escape. The crowd had formed a circle around us, phones recording every moment. "You're upset," she tried again. "Confused. This is exactly why you need me to take care of—" "Take care of what?" I interrupted. "My money? My property? The way you've been taking care of my penthouse while wearing my clothes?" Blair emerged from the crowd, phone extended. "I have the receipts, Kinley. All of them. The offshore accounts, the kickbacks from the care facility. Everything." "You backstabbing little—" Kinley lunged for Blair's phone, but Detective Bell caught her arm. "Careful," she warned, badge glinting. "Assault charges won't help your case." Mom pushed through the onlookers. "Kinley? What's happening?" "Ask her about Grandma's necklace, Mom," I suggested. "The one she found after breaking into my safety deposit box." Kinley's hand flew to the sapphires at her throat. "That's not— I would never—" "The bank's security footage says otherwise," Gordon called out, holding up his tablet. Along with the mechanic's sworn statement about the brake lines, the whispers grew louder. Phones kept recording. Kinley's carefully constructed world was crumbling in real time, streaming live on social media. "You don't understand," she pleaded, voice cracking. "I deserved it. All these years watching you succeed, being the perfect daughter while I just wanted—" "To kill me," I finished. "To steal my life? No. I mean, the accident wasn't supposed to. You weren't meant to." "Weren't meant to what, Miss Webb?" Detective Bell pressed. "Survive?" Kinley's mask finally shattered. "You were supposed to be brain dead. The doctors said the impact at that speed, but you just had to survive, didn't you? Had to ruin everything, just like always." The crowd gasped. Mom stumbled backward. Blair's livestream counter ticked past 10,000 viewers. "Officers," Detective Bell nodded. 2 uniformed police stepped forward. "Kinley Webb, you're under arrest for attempted murder, grand theft, fraud—" "No!" Kinley shrieked as they cuffed her. "You can't! I'm the victim here! She's always had everything. I just wanted—" "My life." I moved closer, voice low. "How's it feel to lose yours instead?" They led her away, still screaming about injustice. The sapphire necklace caught the light one last time before Detective Bell carefully removed it as evidence. The crowd erupted in chaos, phones buzzing, reporters pushing forward, questions flying. Through it all, Mom stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I should have seen—" "Later," I said gently. "Right now, I believe we have some donations to refund." Blair approached cautiously. "It's trending nationwide. Justice for Violet. Good." I turned to address the crowd and cameras. "Thank you all for coming to my fundraiser, though it seems my sister's the one who'll need help with legal fees now." Nervous laughter rippled through the room. Dr. Hicks touched my arm. Need to sit down? No. I stood taller, feeling truly strong for the first time since the accident. I need a drink. Gordon appeared with champagne. To justice? I raised my glass, looking around at the wreckage of Kinley's perfect night. The scattered flowers, the abandoned donation table, her giant portrait of me now being taken down by venue staff. To Karma, I corrected. She's a patient bitch, but she always delivers. Guilty on all counts. The judge's words echoed through the courtroom. I watched Kinley's shoulders slump as the full sentence was read. 15 years for attempted murder, fraud, and theft. No chance of early parole. Mum gripped my hand so tight it hurt. She hadn't missed a single day of the trial, watching her daughters on opposite sides of the justice system. When they led Kinley away, she turned to face me one last time. I hope it was worth it, she spat. Destroying your only sister. You destroyed yourself, I replied calmly. I just provided the audience. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Blair, who'd testified against Kinley in exchange for immunity, was already giving interviews about her upcoming tell-all book. How does it feel to see justice served? A reporter shoved a microphone in my face. Like closing a chapter, I said simply, then turned to Mom. Ready to go home? She nodded, tears streaming. I still have your spare key. I could help you clean out her things from your penthouse. Actually, I smiled, I sold the penthouse. Too many bad memories. But where will you? My new place has a mother-in-law suite, I said carefully. If you're interested. She stopped walking. You want me to live with you? After I believed her lies? You're my mother. We heal, we learn, we move forward. Gordon waited by his car. Need a ride to sign those closing papers? Thanks, but Detective Bell's taking me. I caught his disappointed look. Gordon, you were amazing through all this. But we're better as friends, he finished. I know. Still glad I could help. Dr. Hicks called as we drove to the realtor's office. Saw the verdict. How are you feeling? Like I can finally breathe again. I watched the city scroll past. Thank you for seeing the truth when no one else did. Speaking of truth, Detective Bell said, there's something you should know. That anonymous note you got in the hospital, the one telling you to prove your sister wrong, that was you? She smiled. I've seen too many cases where family takes advantage of medical crises. Something about your sister's behavior set off alarm bells. At the new house, Mom gasped at the view. It's beautiful. But can you afford this after everything Kinley took? Insurance recovered most of it. Plus, I grinned, Blair's publisher offered me a pretty nice sum for my side of the story. You're writing a book too? No, but that money she offered for my silence about her role in the fraud, that's paying for your suite. Mom laughed for the first time in months. Later that evening, I sat in my new office, sipping wine and scrolling through news coverage. Kinley's booking photo, Blair's tearful interviews, the trending hashtags. A message popped up from Dr. Hicks. Patient's final psychological evaluation. Fully recovered. Stronger than ever. Another from Detective Bell. Kinley's appeals were denied. It's really over. And one from Gordon. Your sister's old friend from the brake shop rolled on her completely. Apparently she paid him in designer handbags. Amateur. I closed my laptop and walked to the window. The city lights sparkled below, so similar to the view from my hospital room, yet everything was different now. Mum knocked softly. I made dinner, if you're hungry. Starving. I followed her to the kitchen, where she'd cooked my favorite pasta. You didn't have to. Let me take care of you, she said. The right way this time. We ate in comfortable silence until she spoke again. Was it worth it? The revenge? I considered carefully. It wasn't about revenge in the end. It was about justice. About showing the world that sometimes the people closest to you can be the most dangerous and the most blind, she added quietly. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Woman awakens from coma to expose sister's fundraiser fraud. I scoffed. Funny, I was never asleep, just waiting for the right moment to wake everyone else up. Mom reached across the table, squeezed my hand. Outside, a siren wailed in the distance. But here in my new home, with truth restored and justice served, I finally felt at peace. Not because I'd won, but because I'd survived. Survived the accident, the betrayal, the lies. Survived and emerged stronger, wiser, and somehow still capable of trust. That was the real victory. More wine, Mum offered. Please. I raised my glass. To new beginnings, she echoed. And to daughters who never give up. I smiled, thinking of Kinley in her prison cell, of Blair with her tell-all book, of all the people who'd thought I was broken beyond repair. They'd been wrong. I was awake. I was whole. And I was finally, truly free.